Welcome to Journalists on Journalism, a weekly podcast that provides unparalleled insight into the lives of journalists eminent in the field. This series is brought to you by Stanford's Masters in Journalism program. For more information on future speakers and to listen to previous podcasts, visit journalism.stanford.edu.
I became a journalist by accident, didn't really aspire to become one as a kid, but I always believed in public service. What I was doing in New York was great and a great experience, but I wasn't getting the kind of satisfaction that I was looking for. And only when I went back and really plunged into this work, working literally 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, and I wanted to do more of it. And every day I felt this great sense of moral gratification from my job, and I felt like I was making a difference every day. I didn't, the way I look at it is that I don't have to impact millions of people's lives, but if I can impact one or two people, if I can if through a radio we can put a smile, on a child's face, or give a farmer the tool to increase his productivity, that in my book was enough to feel good about. I wanted to start with some background on what has happened to Afghan media, the evolution and the rapid growth of the media in the last 10 years. It really started from zero, and 10 years ago, during the Taliban, when Afghanistan was described as a country without news or pictures by Reporters Without Borders, where the only freedom people had was the freedom to pray. Afghanistan is not the most dangerous country to work as a journalist, but it's one of the most dangerous countries. We have had 22 journalists killed in the last 10 years, over 2 a year. In Mexico, Russia are far more dangerous. And we have had over 200 incidents of violence against journalists. There are 3 reasons for this growth in media in the past 10 years. One was that Afghanistan has a very young population. Over 60% of the population is under the age of 30. So a population that had been deprived of information for a long time was suddenly given the opportunity to express themselves, and they did. And there was also a lot of investment made in the media industry by foreign donors and media development organizations such as Internews, my employer. I think over $100 million have been invested in the media, which led to a lot of job creation. The third reason for the vast growth was that Afghanistan has long had a radio culture. Afghans are very sophisticated and savvy consumers of news. Going back decades to the early days of radio in Afghanistan. And they're savvy enough to know the difference between BBC and VOA. The BBC is now the #1 broadcaster in Afghanistan. The VOA has historically been seen as a propaganda outlet for the US government. I really believe that because the culture of free media has taken deep roots in the past 10 years. It's going to be very difficult to take it all away from them. There may be some erosion in the absence of the international community keeping an eye on the government, but I think we'll probably retain most of it, at least in big cities.